Our passage today from Acts starts in chapter 17, verse 22 through chapter 18, verse 8. But our focus is on the Apostle Paul in Athens, the great city of democracy, the capital of Greece, some of the most amazing architecture, even now, more than 2,000 years later. We, on our church pilgrimage trip to Greece in 2022, spent several nights in Athens and went up to see the Parthenon, the Acropolis, and just phenomenal, the construction and what the ancient people were able to do without a single power tool. It's incredibly humbling. And among all these great buildings that would have been a clear sign to anybody coming to Athens, Greece, look at our power, look at our knowledge, look at our accomplishments, look at what a great people we are. Paul comes and he's at the base of that hill, looking up at those buildings, just as we were 3 years ago. And I even filmed a devotion from the Areopagus, from the base of that hill, 3 years ago on this very passage. And our verse for the day is verse 23, where Paul says, "For as I went through the city and looked carefully at the objects of your worship, I found among them an altar with the inscription, 'To an unknown God.' What therefore you worship as unknown, this I proclaim to you." And then he goes on to declare about the God who is the creator of the universe and of all things. But I often wonder about the person who made that altar, who created that inscription, "To an unknown God." What was going on in that person's life? Were they desperately hoping for healing for a child or a loved one? Were they struggling with some overwhelming challenge that felt too great for them? And were they, in a sense, trying to cover all their bases, we might say, to use a baseball analogy? Or were they trying to say, well, I don't know what God's name is, but if you're out there, God, please accept this offering. Please hear my prayer. And one of the things that we believe is we believe in a God who created the universe, who gives life to all things, and yet a God who knows us personally. The God of Abraham and Sarah, the God of David, the God of Jesus, the Son of Mary. We believe in a very specific God, the God who is our creator, who loves us. We believe in Jesus, his Son, who died and rose from the dead. We believe in God, the Holy Spirit, who is with us and dwells in us even now. I encourage you to look at Paul's sharing with the Athenians, but as he says, "For in him we live and move and have our being, even as some of your poets have said." One of the things Paul does in Athens is he tries to relate to the things that he sees there and use those as stepping stones to sharing the good news. And that's something we can learn from an evangelism standpoint as well. Look for something you can share in common with someone as a starting point for sharing your testimony.